In a world where women were rarely heard, one woman stood not just to speak, but to lead, to judge, and to go to war. Her name was Deborah. Prophetess, judge, warrior. But who was she, really? Why did God choose her? When kings and commanders fell silent. This is her story, and the battle that shook a nation. Israel had once stood proud, rescued from Egypt, carved into a nation by the very hand of God. But the people forgot. They turned to idols, to Baal, to Asherah. Each time they strayed, their protection disappeared. And this time, it was Jabin, king of Canaan, who rose up. His commander, Sisera, ruled with 900 iron chariots. For 20 years, Israel suffered under oppression. Villages were abandoned. Trade routes collapsed. No swords, no shields, no hope. But under the shade of a palm tree between Ramah and Bethel, sat Deborah. She was no ordinary woman. She judged the people, resolving disputes, delivering wisdom, listening to God's voice. She was a prophetess, one who heard from God. And when God spoke, nations moved. And on one particular day, she sent for a warrior named Barak. Deborah looked him in the eye. Has not the Lord God of Israel commanded? She said, Go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men, and I will draw unto thee Sisera, and I will deliver him into thine hand. Barak hesitated. This was suicide. Sisera's chariots were unmatched. His men were few. And Sir Barak replied, If you will go with me, I will go. But if you will not go with me, I will not go. Deborah didn't flinch. I will go, she said. But the honor will not be yours. God will deliver Sisera into the hand of a woman. 10,000 men marched to Mount Tabor. Sisera, confident and cruel, brought his chariots to crush them. But then, the heavens opened. Rain, torrential and divine, poured upon the battlefield. The iron wheels of Sisera's mighty chariots stuck in the mud. And Deborah shouted, Up, for this is the day the Lord has delivered Sisera into your hand. Barak charged. God thundered. Sisera panicked. He abandoned his chariot and fled, on foot. Sisera ran through the wilderness. He reached the tent of Jael, wife of Heber, the Canaanite people neutral to the conflict. She welcomed him in, offered him milk, covered him with a blanket. He thought he was safe. Stand at the door, he said, if anyone comes, say I'm not here. But Jael had seen enough war. As Sisera slept, exhausted, she took a tent peg in one hand, and a hammer in the other, and she drove the peg through his temple, into the ground. The mighty commander slain by a woman's hand. Israel won that day. But Deborah didn't just celebrate, she sang. Her song is one of the oldest recorded poems in the Bible, a war ballad, a cry of justice, and a declaration of God's power. When leaders lead in Israel, when the people willingly offer themselves, bless the Lord. The mountains quaked before the Lord, even Sinai before the Lord God of Israel. Most blessed among women is Jael. And she ends with these words, Let all your enemies perish, O Lord, but let those who love you be like the sun when it rises in its strength. Deborah wasn't just a prophet. She wasn't just a judge. She was a mother in Israel. She stepped into the gap when no man would rise. She showed the world what leadership looked like when guided by heaven, not ego. And because of her courage, Israel had peace for 40 years.